Oh, Guru Games. Sorry, I misread. That's Curry Games. Mighty Poseidon, lord of the Black Sea depths, swirling deep and dark, whose will shapes the currents of fate. Save thy servant, break open the earth, and let sweeping statements sweep on by, because no game gives you enough time to read these things anymore. But what does it matter? Anyway, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to something called Medusa's Labyrinth, which is supposed to be very pretty, very good, and very short. So I don't know exactly how this is going to go, or what this is going to turn into, but everybody seems to be saying good things about it, very good things about it indeed, and it's supposed to be a sort of proof of concept, I believe, for a larger project. And so far it is very nice. It's very pretty. I like the sort of purple mist effect, which is not something you see very often. Can I get over this way? Yep, just about. Yes, the purple mist is very nice. And despite the relatively simplistic textures, they do the job, at least on the plants anyway, they do the job quite effectively. And I've just remembered there's a jump button which would have solved my problem down there, but never mind. Never mind the fact that I'm an incompetent lunatic. You can interact with highlighted objects by hovering over them and pressing the left mouse button. Such as what? Such as this? That object wasn't highlighted, but never mind. Father told me he had great news, but he did not sound pleased. He said I had been chosen, and that I was to serve the temple as an oracle. I have always felt like I did not belong in the kitchens, but Mother never let me see anything else. Dirty pans and pots all day. I prayed to him, and now my God has answered. Why can't Father be happy for me? Interesting. So we have a bit of a family drama going on, and not a Jeremy Kyle type one. So I believe oracles, at least to my understanding, an oracle, at least in ancient Greek cultures, I believe was a person who was in tune, or sort of in communication with various gods and goddesses, and would communicate information, act as like a vessel for the divine powers to communicate through. That is very pretty. To communicate their sort of beliefs and prophecies and desires onto Earth, I believe, is the long and the short of it. But I could be completely mistaken, because my entire historical knowledge comes from one television show that I watched when I was a child. So, no promises whatsoever that there's any accuracy to any of the rubbish that I come up with. But let's keep exploring. Perhaps this is the temple where I have been fated to go. I don't know what happened to the... I had no idea how the selection process for an oracle goes, or how the families would be compensated. Because sometimes in situations like that, the families would be compensated very well, sometimes they wouldn't be compensated at all. And children are often seen as resources at that point, so who knows what it would have caused for the family. Today is the day that they take me to the temple. Father said I could not call him father any more, and that no one in the temple can know about him and my mother. I have a bruise on my shoulder where his fingers dug in when he grabbed me. The acolyte should come by sunset, he said, and that I should not worry. But I do worry. I have never seen that look in his eyes before. Interesting. So there was some part of the writer's heritage of their family that would have banned them from being an oracle. And presumably being an oracle is a good thing, at least for my parents, or the writer's parents rather, because if it wasn't, if that's not what they wanted for me, then they presumably would have revealed the nature of their heritage, which would prevent me from being an oracle. Unless the other alternative is death, in which case, maybe they didn't. Or this is a different person, I think. I have dedicated my life to the service of Poseidon, god of the sea. Now I wish I could spit in his very wet face. He is a greedy god, a god without mercy. He drags sailors down to the depths. He floods the farmlands and takes their crops. And now he has taken my daughter. So I think that might be the father writing. So they used to be in service to Poseidon, and his daughter was taken to be an oracle. My giddy aunt. That is a vicious-looking monster. What even is that? I would have thought it's a bull, judging off the horns, but it seems to have spikes on its back. And its legs don't seem quite right. But then again, it's not a minotaur either. Something in between, I think. Interesting. Let's read some more notes. She is to become his, body and soul, chosen by fate, they told me, an oracle to see the future and grant blessings according to Poseidon's will. I won't let him take my beautiful daughter. I have seen what the... oh, goodness. Hierophant. I don't know, is that like the ancient Greek version of a bishop or something? And his followers do to the poor girls in the sanctuary, chosen, but for whom? Whose will is she to please? Oh, goodness. I think I'm starting to understand this fella's concerns now. So I don't think I am going to be the daughter. I'm probably going to be someone else. Okie dokie. So this isn't quite... okay, so we've been going about 6 minutes as of yet. And it still seems like there's still quite a bit more to do. Because I know there's something to do with a torch and a bow, which was betrayed by the control scheme. So when they said this was very short, I was thinking this would be like a midweek level of shortitude. But short on Steam seems to have a very different definition to short on itch.io. The Lord of the Depths hides many a secret. I'm sure he does. So I presume this isn't his temple, because we don't seem to have any nautical themes of pictures here. We seem to have birds and other winged creatures, and trees and plants and crops, which I don't really associate with the sea. Maybe the Mediterranean is full of birds, full of people growing wheat and things in the sea. Maybe that's how things work. Maybe it's not. Spooky, sneaky. I'm not going to be an oracle after all. Father has come with some men and killed the priests. One of his friends got stabbed and I screamed. Father slapped me until I fell silent. See, this is weird, because the dad seems to be highly invested in looking after his daughter, at least to the point of not letting him go into this or become an oracle, which would seem to imply she's going to be abused there. But then at the same time, he doesn't seem too hesitant about just beating the living daylights out of us. I'm a little confused as to his motivations here. But never mind. He never hurt me before, apart from that time he left a bruise on your shoulder when you were being taken into the oracle shop. But never mind. Then they dragged me away somewhere within the temple. They locked me in with the wounded man. I can hear his ragged breathing. There is a bubbling sound when he exhales. Oh, God. They got blood all over my blue dress, too, the one Mother gave me on Solstice Day last summer. I wonder if it will ever wash out. Well, probably not. Blood never comes out of my clothes, and I've got modern washing detergent to work with. I'm pretty sure the ancient Greeks didn't. But maybe that's one of the perks of being an oracle. You get special futuristic detergents. Can I pull this or ring this? No, okay. So it seems we have... yes, it's alright. I remember the control scheme, even though just 2 days ago I was complaining about people not giving you a tutorial, and now you're giving me a tutorial, and now I'm complaining. So yes, nothing completes me. Due to the illness spreading among the servants, the eastern catacombs have been locked down and it's under quarantine. The bridge leading to this area may not be lowered at any times by anyone unless explicit order has been given by the High Hierophant. I'm going to assume that is pronounced. Okay, so is that where I'm going? Are you trying to tell me that so that I know where I'm going? And out of curiosity... no, okay. Because I know there's something to do with a torch, as I said before, and... why do I need to sprint? Why are you telling me that information now? Is there something about to chase me? Well, this is very green. And that is very purple. There's nothing in here which can provide me with any light. No, I was just wondering whether I was doing a Saber Beast again, and not realising that to get a torch you just have to take one off the wall. I wanted to make sure I wasn't making myself look like an idiot again. Okay. Oh, you can lean a lot further than you can in most games, which is nice. I just really hope this game actually takes advantage of the leaning mechanic, because dozens and dozens of games have leaning mechanics and never actually take take advantage of them or make use of them, which I always find is a bit of a disappointment. Like, what's the point of programming in controls and animations and stuff if you're then not actually going to use them? But, this might be the torch. Here we are, a big stick for walloping people. Press right mouse button to drop torch, hold and release right mouse button to throw torch. Why would I want to do that? Why would I want to throw it? What is that horrifying noise? And why is this room changed? That's alright, I can work it out. What? No, I can't. Press the hold left mouse button. I'm doing that. Nothing's happening. Do I need to be standing in the right position? Oh, I needed to be standing here. I needed to have my crotch pressed up against this handle because, you know, that's how light works. It's the first law of pyrodynamics. Press one's crotch up against the handle before anything will happen. Okie dokie. Ugh, gentlemen, kindly calm yourself. Okie dokie. Let's go back through here. Now we've got a little bit more light to work with. We can see what's going on. We can see what spooky monsters were chasing us that we had to run away from. Okay, we have some papyrus here. That's a big word, I know. I'm in Hades. It is dark here. I have not seen the light of sun in days. The slave's father sent me to guard their eye. No, hang on a second. The slave's father sent to guard me, let their eyes linger longer than they should. It makes my skin crawl. I gather you're ancient Greeks, but could you stop talking backwards, please? It's very confusing. Their master comes by now and then to leave supplies, but never stays long. They haven't acted upon the things I can see in their minds, but I can't sleep with them so close. I wish father was here. The whitewashed bones that fill these tunnels whisper to me, call for me to join them. I might just take them up on their offer. Was that the dad? Yeah, I think that's the name of the dad. I think the guy is going a bit crazy. Because bones don't talk. And if bones could talk, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't say, come and join me. I can't possibly imagine that living as an ornament on somebody's wall is a particularly fun life. Okay, so you're telling me that eventually my torch is going to run out and I'm going to have to get another one. So I should possibly be a little bit more expedient. I am sorry to have to break this to you, madams, but you appear to have a moustache along with your extremely depressed outlook on life. So, now that I have thoroughly judged your physical appearance, I'm now going to walk out of your life and we'll never see each other again. I hope. Oh no, this is the same thing we read before. Okay, so the Eastern Catacomb. Oh, hang on a minute, that's the way I came, so that's fallen down, that's gotten all broken now. So east, assuming that when we came down the path we were facing north, assuming we start north, we'd want to go right, which is this way. So possibly this will lead us to the quarantined area, which given the current circumstance of the world, I don't really want to be going anywhere that's quarantined, but here we are. Now, here's the bow. Does this put away my torch? No, it doesn't even bring it out. I need to put that away. Oh, so I have to drop that on the floor. And then I press F and still nothing happens. Okay, so 2 brings it out, but F doesn't. I didn't have time to read that. Okay, so, what? Pick up a torch from your quiver. I think you mean an arrow, my friend. Press tab to look at your quiver. Ah, that's why I don't have any arrows. Because I haven't any arrows. Okay, so let's pick up these. There, I have some arrows now. So if I press 2 to bring out my bow, I can now press right mouse button to screw everything up, or left mouse button to draw my bow, and how under the sun do I put this away? With right mouse button. Okay, spiffing. So let me put that away and grab a new torch so that it's nice and fresh. Yes, it's odd. It said that T or F could be used for the torch, but actually it seems like only 1 and 2 are the buttons which actually work, which seems a little odd, but possibly I'm doing something wrong. Oh, goody! Spiders' webs! I love spiders' webs. I love them so much. Is this going to involve combat? Because I'm not good with a bow. Skyrim proved that time and time again. I'm much better at walloping things with big swords. Okay, so. You don't say. Okay, so, let me see about this. If I put this down, and then it very nearly rolls into the floor, and into the crevasse. If I fire this, I've just realised I don't have a reticule, so I'm going to have to guess it's there. Hooray! Guesswork produces results. Excellent. I should tell that to my manager tomorrow. Okie dokie. This is very nice. I like the green fire. I like the green fire, but now the green fire isn't here anymore. So, should I progress further on, or should I go back and try and relight my torch? I don't like that noise. I don't really like to go down here without any light. Particularly after observing whatever under the sun this is. Hello? Was that a massive ancient Greek fart? That's all the hummus for you. Do they even eat hummus? Is hummus even a Greek thing? I thought it was it Scottish? No, that's haggis. Sorry, I'm getting all my cuisines mixed up and insulting people. I'm sorry. No, I'm not. I couldn't care less. If you honestly get offended by the muddle up of haggis and hummus, you have a severely boring life. Okay, never mind about my discussions of philosophy. Let's just head towards this light, so that I can hopefully relight my torch and figure out what under the sun that big bummed thing I saw was. Oh, hello. I understand your feelings, mate, but could you mind not creeping up on me quite so much? Could I mind not falling over my own sentences? That would be a step in the right direction, wouldn't it? Okie dokie, let's have a read of this, see what we've got here. Last night... Don't do that, alright? It freaks me out, alright? I appreciate the fact that you've got something vaguely resembling a pair of pants on, which is more than I can say of most Greek statues. Okay. Last night they came in while I was sleeping. I was certain I had barred the door, but I must have forgotten. Such a small mistake. When Father comes, he will have them killed. I told them so, and they laughed. Why would they laugh? It hurt more than the rest. The bones sing to me now, a wordless hymn. It helped me after they left. I just lay there and listened to it for hours. So the bones are singing. And frankly, I think this woman has gone off the deep end. Okay. I'm sure being an oracle is tough work. So yes, I don't have a complete picture of the sequence of events, shall we say, that occurred here. I think she was selected to be an oracle. They didn't want to take her to the temple, but they had to, and then they performed some sort of raid on the temple, and they killed all the priests, and somebody got injured, but then I'm a bit confused about who got injured and who's been resting and why the daughter hasn't been taken away. I don't quite get what's going on, but hopefully things will make a bit more sense in a minute. The bone song is within me now, and they can sense it. The melodies vibrate just below my skin, and the monsters no longer dare to meet my gaze. Last time they came for me, I gouged out one of their eyes with my thumb. Now I keep the door locked and stay away. Father has left me. He buried me with the other corpses. I hate him. I hate them all. So, yes. To be honest, I think if my daughter that I don't have gouged out somebody's eye with her own thumb, I mean, it'd be weirder if she did it with somebody else's thumb, but doing it with her own thumb for the minute, I can sort of understand why he'd be a bit sort of freaked out and wishing to run away. So, some big freaky monster, which is possibly whoever under the sun was being quarantined down here, is blowing out candles. So somebody's being very particular about following the details of their contract. I like the environments though. The environments are quite nicely detailed, and they're also varied as well. Again, with the big farts. Honestly. Could that actually happen? Could it be physically possible? If, you know, like there's that old idea of like if everyone in the world jumped at the same time, would it cause like a tsunami? If every single person who could fit into like a massive cave and they all farted at the same time, could that cause enough of a vibration in the earth to cause like an avalanche or something? Like shouting can cause an avalanche if you shout really loud in the right place. Could that work? Could you literally kill people with farts? Oh dear. My humour. Really, really top notch, isn't it? Really, really highbrow. I'm going to assume that was loading another, loading like another cell or something. Okay, what have we here? More notes. I buried, oh goodness, Timios? Ancient Greek version of Timmy. It had to be done in secret. He deserved a place of honour for his sacrifice. I washed his bones myself and sent them down with the acolytes to be buried in the tombs under a false name. I cannot risk going down for a visit. I miss her more than anything. The Hierophant suspects that someone amongst the lower priests have stolen her away, but so far his search has yielded no results. Okay. So that was that 6 out of 8? No, that was 5 out of 6. Oh, okay. I'm really confused. That must have been before the raid by the dad and the rest of them. Am I actually in danger? Because as of yet, I've seen no evidence that I'm actually in danger, but I feel like something is sort of slowly creeping up on me and perpetually getting a little tiny bit closer each time. Ooh, that's pretty. I like the big green fire. Something has gone wrong with Kyriakolos. I went to ask him about my daughter, but his servants would not let me speak to him. They said he has a fever and that the Hierophant has ordered that no one is to come near him for fear of spreading the disease. Maybe the high priests are onto us, but there is nothing I can do. I cannot run while she is down there. If nothing changes soon, I'll have to go down and find her myself. Whoa, whoa, whoa. This is a problem. So I was just about to comment on the fact that the torches don't seem to go out. So I'm going to have to try and sneak back upstairs in the hopes of finding wherever under the sun they had that torch. Was it here? Yeah, here we are. Oh, but the fire has gone out. Okay, so I've got a torch, which is at least useful for walloping people. But, yeah. So the torches last a lot longer than I would have expected. But let me see if I can light it with this green flame. That would be cool. I could have a big green flame. Do I have to crouch? Oh, come on. I light my torch at the green flamey thing and it doesn't go green. Come on. Oh, that's pretty. That's very pretty. Ancient Greek version of a shower? I don't know. I think the Romans actually invented sort of vaguely modern plumbing, so probably I'm being uneducated when I say that the Greeks had a shower as good as that. They probably had one far better. Ooh, goody. Booze. Excellent. That will ease over the difficulties of the zone. Okie dokie. More skulls. What are just those? Some man who seems to be wearing a lion's head for a hat. And it's a very strange image. I don't know if that's like a real image that's actually like been found in an ancient Greek temple or something, and has just been brought out. But wow. So I'm just being slightly impressed by like the detail in the spiderwebs. It's extremely 3D, which is much better than most of these places, which would just do like a 2D texturing over the thingamajig. But precise terminology there. Yes. I'm just being very impressed by the detail. It's very nice, very pretty. Okay. That's enough sightseeing. Time to actually pay attention to playing the game for 5 minutes. Hello. I'm still not using the lean mechanics, which I possibly should be doing. Now I've got some blue flames as well. Green flames, orange flames, blue flames. I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sound of that. I don't like the sight of that either. Oh, goodness, I think I'm actually screwed. Good. The big goblin man has gone. He shan't be goblin me. Oh, gosh. So I don't know if this game has like an element of, or an emphasis rather, on stealth or anything like that, but let me see if I can sneak my way through here. Yeah, I reckon I can. Here we go. So I'm still not entirely sure of what my objective is. I don't know whether I'm someone who's been here before, is possibly returning to conduct some unfinished business, or whether I'm just here to explore. Maybe I've heard stories and I'm here to find out the truth for myself, sort of an ancient Greek investigative reporter sort of thing. Or maybe I'm just some random loon on a gap year that couldn't think of anything better to do, so just decided to invade some deity's property in the hope of not getting myself killed. Oh goodness, I think he's got some horns on his head. I'm being chased by someone with a horn. Oh goodness, that's the first time in my life that's happened. Oh gosh, I'm stuck between the devil and the, well, the dust cloud. Doesn't roll off the tongue quite as well though, does it? Okay. Is he still following me? No, okay. I think everything, at least for the next 2 seconds, is fine. It's certainly a unique way of indicating the enemies are there. Usually it's like a growl or footsteps or something, but this is a new one. Wow. A big bronze skull. That must have taken quite a lot of metal working. Let me just drop this and just replace this with a fresh one, and realise there's nothing here to light this fresh one with. But, okay. But yes, it's certainly unique. I've never had a game where your implied danger comes from stomach gurgling. But maybe having less light will make me more stealthy. Ah, here we are. Can I please have a blue flame on my torch? Please? Oh, come on, that would look so badass. Is it so much to ask for a blue flame? I don't even know if blue flames really exist. I think they do. I think it depends on like what fuel you're burning. But again, I'm not really here to give you a lesson on pyrotechnics. Mainly because I know nothing about them, and secondly because this is not meant to be an educational channel, this is meant to be a channel of absolute tripe, which is probably the only thing it manages to succeed at. The amount of bones down here is impressive. A lot of people must die here. Giddy, oh, it's like the catacombs under Paris. Okay, I still don't know quite where we're going. I presume we're going deeper and deeper into the catacombs, in the hope of finding something or someone. The light does not reach very fast. It's very easy to mistake a wheelbarrow for a murderer. There is another light there, but I have picked up this torch relatively recently, so I'm not going to bother getting that other torch on the floor. This seems like an excellent sort of spot to do a sort of a ring around with a bad guy. Chase him around on like a circle. So, that makes me think someone's going to jump out at me in a minute. So far, nobody has. We also seem to have run out of story. We haven't done another note in ages. Or maybe we have, and I just haven't noticed because I've been blind as a bat and badgering on like a twit. Oh, I think the light's going out behind. Oh, goodness, I really shouldn't have slowed down. I was just thinking this seemed very final. Oh, blast. Don't slam doors in people's faces. That's very mean. That was nice, though. I liked that. Oh, hang on. Oh, there's more? Oh. This is pretty. This is gorgeous, actually. She's actually exactly what I was going to say. Can I get in the water? Oh, I wanted to swim. It's been stressy, alright? It's been stressy being chased by monsters all day. And having to pick through all the bones. Just a bit sweaty. I just need a wash before I meet Medusa, or whoever under the sun it is. I'm a little confused, though. Why is it called Medusa's Labyrinth if it's a temple to Poseidon? I'm a little confused as to why that's the situation. But let me drop this and replace it with this one. There we are, because this one's pre-lit, so this one will work nicely. It is a very pretty game, though. The textures are lovely, and the amount of detail that's been put into the world in terms of objects is also very nice. And the rooms rather, are nicely detailed and varied as well. The lighting works very nicely as well. How the shadows bounce off things, and sort of the shininess of the gold and metals is done very effectively. So visually, the game is done very nicely. I'm not entirely convinced about the storytelling because, and I'll admit I'm a bit of a moron, absolutely I will, but I'm not quite getting how the story works. I feel the water is done beautifully as well. I didn't notice that before. I don't suppose we saw much water before, but yeah, the storytelling doesn't seem massively clear to me. It seems a little bit not contrived, but if it had a little bit more like substantive detail in it, like a few sort of bones or a bit of flesh that you could like hook onto. It's a weird analogy to describe storytelling, but just something to give you like a better understanding of like the timeline, how things fit together, or the people maybe. I don't know. It's never easy for me when I have names that I'm not familiar with or are tricky to pronounce, because then my brain kind of forgets them and I forget who's who, which possibly isn't helping the situation. But it's very pretty, and for what it does in terms of the monsters, the bow and the light and the environments, it does it all very effectively, and it strings it together very nicely and does the pacing very well. I think, however, at the end, in like the second half, after we got past all the notes, we could have kicked the danger of the bad guy up a little bit more, because it seemed like we drifted out of the notes and then had to wait a while before we actually got to a bit of danger. I just feel like maybe something in the middle there, or bringing those two different sections of the game a little bit closer together, might have made the pacing a bit better. But I don't know. I'm not a games designer. I am not really here to criticise the games. I'm just here to sort of play them and yak on about absolute tripe, which anyway, that was Medusa's Labyrinth. That was very, very beautiful, but the story confused the living daylights out of me. But never mind, that was Medusa's Labyrinth. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Look after each other, and good night.